So, are Chelsea title contenders? Is City title challenge over? Onslaught. Tick-tack. Tick-tack. I can't lie. What a day of Premier League football. What a day of Premier League football, which we need to talk about. We need to have a conversation. We need to have a dialogue. And I'm only going to be talking about the games that I actually watched. I only watched 2 90-minute games. So I'm not able to talk about, of course, the game Bournemouth and Brighton, Fulham. Brother, big respect. With all due respect, ain't nobody care. Liverpool, I wasn't able to watch it because Barca was playing at the same time. But I am going to rewatch the full 90 minutes because Onslaught, I'm on your back. Big pause. But losing, just talking briefly, I've seen the goals. I've seen how the goals got conceded. I didn't watch the games. I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch 90 minutes. I didn't watch how he played or this guy played or how the front line was working, how Isaac and Iketika coming on. I didn't know anything about that. So I'm going to rewatch the game for me to actually understand and for me to analyze it on SDS later on this week. But losing 3-0 after you lost 3-0 last game to Man City and you had a full international break to sit down, understand your team and analyze your team and tell yourself, this will work. This isn't working. I might change this to that. I can't lie, man. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. And trust me, Liverpool fans, if, of course, you guys watch the game, put down in the comment section what you guys made of the game. But I'm going to give my full thoughts about Liverpool and the result. And I've got a lot to talk about Onslaught, of course, on SDS later this week. But this game, I've got nothing much to say because I didn't watch it. But, hey, Onslaught. Hey, time is running. Wallah, time is running. I will be there. I will be there. As for the other 2 games that I watched, of course, I watched Chelsea and Burnley, and I watched City against Newcastle. Let's talk about, first of all, Chelsea and Burnley, because the Newcastle City game was absolutely insane, and there's so many talking points, and there's so much to talk about. Burnley, Chelsea, I'm going to be real. If you're a Chelsea fan, you're taking this 100%, because you saw the lineup. I don't think any Chelsea fan was confident with the lineup heading in with no Casado and a backline of Chalobah and Tosin, which hasn't been working out that great. No Josh and Reece James playing only 45 minutes and Garnacho and Steve on the bench. So you kind of saw the lineup and you weren't happy. Plus, early kickoff after international break, so you weren't that optimistic. However, for Chelsea, the performance wasn't great. It wasn't high-flying. It wasn't tiki-taka. It wasn't free-flowing. Couple chances there. It was purely just taking the 3 points because if you're talking about from a time management, I think Enzo Maresca, give massive respect to him. You have to give him as much respect and as much flowers as possible because if you told Enzo Maresca, I'm resting Casado after he had 2 games with Ecuador, I'm not playing Steve, I'm not playing Josh. I only played Reece James 45 minutes. I didn't play Garnacho, a player that I'm going to rely on in the next coming week. I've done everything in terms of game management for every player because I've got a game against Barcelona coming up. I've got a game against Arsenal coming up. I can't lie. In terms of the game management for Enzo Maresca, big respect because if you looked at the game, Burnley didn't really threaten Chelsea. Like it wasn't like they had a lot of chances and Chelsea got lucky. Burnley, bro, what's the XG? I think it was under 0.5. Yeah, bro. Like Burnley didn't create anything that game. It was some routine saves, crosses claimed by Sanchez. Should be expected and should be routine. So that's why I'm saying for the circumstances of the game with the lineup and the players being rested and the players being out already with an injury and you've got Barca coming up, Arsenal coming up, I can't lie. These are the kind of games where you take the 3 points and you run with it. Couple player performance for me that I have to highlight, I have to talk about. Santos, for me, he was man of the match. I don't know why. Okay, listen. I don't know why Enzo got man of the match. He was okay. He was a great game. But for me, Santos was the one controlling everything in that midfield because the first half, he was the one like cleaning all the messes, being the dog in that midfield, doing what Casado was doing, like cleaning everyone's messes, the tackling, the late interceptions with the transition, even the counter pressing at certain times. I can't lie. Santos had a complete game. For me, he was the man of the match. Tosin had a great game as well. I think for a person who hasn't started that much, coming in and performing the way he did, that's very big. But I want to talk about certain man. So I gave my respects to two players that deserves it, and Enzo Maresca for the great man management and a great understanding of the team, understanding their schedule coming up. I want to talk about Liam Delap. You know, there's kind of games here you watch, and you trying to look for a player for him to do something, and you see nothing. Liam Delap might have dropped, and again, I'm not being rude, I'm not being disrespectful. He might have dropped one of the worst performances I've seen from a striker this season. And I would like for Chelsea fans to keep the same energy, please. Because I have seen the way you guys reacted, and not every Chelsea fan, most Chelsea fan. That's a big percentage of the Chelsea fan base that was very, very, very on Nico Jackson, that criticized Nico Jackson, that abused Nico Jackson, called him the worst striker in Chelsea's history, called him shit, called him this, called him that. There was so much talked about Nico Jackson being the person he is. Liam Delap doesn't do anything that Nico Jackson does. But Nico Jackson does everything that Liam Delap, everything about Liam Delap, Nico Jackson does it. Because if you talk about Nico Jackson last season, a person who scored about 15 goals, a person, yes, missed a lot of chances, he was offside a lot of times, but if you look at Liam Delap, he is as offside as Nico Jackson. He doesn't score any goals, but the hold-up and the build-up is nowhere near, in terms of quality, in terms of the way he does it, it's nowhere near Nico Jackson, because you looked at the game today, and Liam Delap doesn't offer anything great for Chelsea. And again, I'm not being overreactionary, by the way. I've seen it for the past couple of games, and I've been patient with it, because when he got signed, I never said that Liam Delap was going to be a starter. I never thought that, even when United was interested, or when City was interested in a backup to Haaland, I always felt Liam Delap was a backup. He was never a starter. You're not going to win the Premier League having Liam Delap leading the line. That's just my opinion. And as of Liam Delap right now, I'm talking about not him improving, progressing as a player in the next couple of years. I'm talking about right now, signing him in the summer. So I always felt Chelsea needed a striker over Liam Delap. It's nice having Liam Delap as the backup, but you need a striker over him, and Nico Jackson. So when I saw people say, oh, Liam Delap is better than Nico Jackson, brother, he doesn't do anything what Nico Jackson does. So I want you guys to keep the same consistency, because in terms of price value, they both got signed the same amount, similar like 30 million, 35 million. They both have had some sort of a time, because it's been now 3 months. Liam Delap is giving you fouls, is giving you yellow cards, red cards, offsides. His hold-up is disgusting. Brother, today, yeah, in terms of hold-up, in terms of IQ, and in terms of decision-making, it was disgusting. The person coming on, Mark Guewy, or whatever, I can't pronounce his surname, Mark Guewy gave you and offers you more, especially that goal that Enzo Fernandez scored, more than Liam Delap throughout the whole game. So I want to see Enzo Maresca. I don't think Liam Delap's going to start against Barcelona. Neither do I think he's going to start against Arsenal. I think he's going to play that Joao Pedro as a striker and try to defend, wait for his chances, similar to what he did against Liverpool. Just wait for your moment to pretty much capitalize. But Liam Delap, I can't lie, man. Like the hype that Chelsea made when they signed him, and what they said about Nico Jackson, keep the same energy, because you guys never gave Nico Jackson time. You guys was on him in his first season. And his first season, keep the same energy with Liam Delap, because he doesn't do 50% of what Nico Jackson did, and neither Mark Guewy so far. That's my initial thoughts about this game. But going to the game that matters the most is, of course, Newcastle against Man City, which is a big game, by the way. It's a massive game. I think the first half ended 0-0, and it was still very entertaining. I wasn't disappointed, and I knew we were going to get goals like coming in, and we got about 3 goals in 7 minutes in the second half. There's a lot of talking points about the game itself. Is the result fair? Yes. Does Newcastle deserve to win? yes, I think with all the chances they created in the first half, in the second half, Voltamade missing about 3 to 4 chances, Barnes missing about 2 chances, 3 chances before he eventually scored twice, and they had so many chances in the first half. City had 1 or 2 great chances where they should have scored. The chance which Bernardo Silva had, the chance which Haaland had with a cutback from O'Reilly. So City had their moments to win as well. But the reason why I think that the result is fair on paper in terms of 2-1, because the amount of chances Newcastle missed, I didn't like the fact how VAR, for me, impacted the game. I don't want to say City got robbed. I think it's unfair for Newcastle and the performance which they dropped. It's unfair for me to say they got robbed. But the way I didn't only see 1, I saw 2, I saw 3, I saw 4, 5 bad decisions against City. It makes me question whether they actually did get robbed, despite the fact that Newcastle played great. I'm talking about first half Phil Foden. You can say it's not a penalty. For me, I think it's a penalty, especially the way he was clashing with him and the contact that he made. That is a penalty. If that happened against your team, you would do the same thing. That is, for me, it's a clear penalty. Then you look at Joe Linton before he got his yellow card towards the end of the game. There are so many tackles that he made in the first half and second half. Why is he not getting a booking? Why is he not getting a yellow card? And not just Joe Linton, but other players that I'm looking at. They're making tackles which is impacting the possession in terms of City going forward. No cards. No yellow cards. So I don't think the referee managed to deal with the crowd and deal with the Newcastle intensity that much. And lastly, that offside. Second goal. I know the replay came up 10 minutes later with Barnes' second goal, where apparently the line was on Ruben Diaz's arm or the armpit. My brother, that replay looked so sus. It looks so suspicious in my personal opinion, because the line came towards the arm. The arm is not part of the onside or offside, fam. You can't score with your arm. So in terms of the rules of the game, you can't. If you thought the arm was part of it, then clearly it shouldn't have stood, because you can't score with your arm. That's one. And secondly, there's only one angle. They only showed one angle, which the angle looked sus, because the initial replay that showed his toe or his foot looked offside. So I wasn't sure with what the replay they're trying to give us, because I didn't think it was a fair goal. But again, I'm not trying to take anything away from Newcastle, because I think Newcastle played a great game. I think there's a lot of players that played well. Bruno, for that second goal, for the first goal for Harrison Barnes, was exceptional. I want to give a massive shout out to Thiaw, who kept Haaland very, very quiet. Like, he dealt with him very well in terms of the physical standpoint, and even in terms of reading his runs and reading where he was trying to go. There was one moment in the first time where Haaland had a 1v1, where he was going 1v1 against Thiaw, and he was trying to drive onto his right, but Thiaw read the whole play brilliantly, like intercepted it, took it, and of course tackled him. But I think Thiaw was amazing. Going to City, I wasn't sure with some of the player performance. I don't think Haaland had a great game. I think he was very inactive. And Cherki had moments. O'Reilly, I think that was one of the most disappointing games of the season. Even Pep, with his substitutions coming in, I didn't think there was a need of bringing Savinho, because, bro, Savinho is such a jarring player, bro. Like, I don't know. Are you good? Are you cheeks? Are you ass? Are you promising? I can't read you. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what it's about you. I don't understand taking off Jeremy Doku, even though it wasn't the most impactful game of Jeremy Doku. He didn't influence the game massively, but you still felt when he gets the ball, he's able to make something happen. There was one moment that the pass that he made to Bernardo Silva, which led to the chance. Like, he's able to make those kind of moments because he is in that form that even a bad game on paper is still, he's able to at least give you one chance or two chances or make something like that happen. So you need to keep these kind of plays on for 90 minutes, because his chance and creation might happen in the last second of the game once he gets some space. So I wasn't sure about taking him off. I felt like his in-game management wasn't the best, but for City, it was a game which you kind of knew from the first second of the game they were going to be under pressure. Like the fans got involved, the intensity of the Newcastle, which is typical Newcastle, because Newcastle do it so often where they dictate the game within the first 20 to 30 minutes. Like the pressure they put towards you, it tells you how the game is going to be played out. The same way against Barcelona, the same way against Arsenal. Like if you manage just to basically not let Newcastle score, and if you manage to basically handle the first 15 to 30 minutes pressed by Newcastle, you can win. Arsenal, Barca being the biggest example. And I thought City was going to do that because the first half, the way they managed to handle and all the chances missed by Newcastle, I felt like, you know what, script writers, City's going to win this game. And even when they conceded and scored straight after with Ruben Dias and the weird deflection, I feel like, you know what, City's going to score a goal. But the fact that they conceded later on, yes, and I still think it's offside. I think for City, you need to do way better. Like, this is the kind of game where you're being looked at as a title challengers, and you can win in these kind of games, in this kind of atmosphere. These are the kind of games where you have to win. For you to lose in the fashion that you did, and you got beaten, you got dominated. Yes, you were unfortunate with some of the VAR decisions, but you got dominated. Not good enough for City. So the table as of right now, Arsenal have got a massive chance to take a healthy lead at the top of the table. And listen, if Arsenal win, are we back to square one of saying the league is done? I mean, let's see. Put down in the comment section what you guys made of any of the games that you watched. Of course, I will be doing a watch-along for this game on my main channel tomorrow between Arsenal and Spurs because it's going to be a big game. Make sure you like the video. Subscribe to the channel. We're only 300, 200 subs away from getting to 20K, which is big. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you tomorrow with the review of Arsenal and Spurs. But if you guys want to watch the watch-along with me, go to my main channel. Peace.